Today's episode of Checkpoint Chats is brought to you by PlayStation South Africa. The same people have just launched Days Gone, a brand new open-world action-adventure title from Studio Bend and Sony. A global pandemic has killed almost everyone, but transformed millions of others into mindless, vicious creatures who want nothing more than to tear you apart. How will you, an outlaw biker named Deek in St. John, survive? Stay tuned to find out more about this PS4 exclusive and how you could win yourself your own copy. Hello, and welcome to episode 51 of Checkpoint Chat. We've passed the half century. It's all downhill from here.
That's what we say after every milestone.
At least one of them is going to be true.
We've passed episode 10. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah,
we've passed episode 25.
It's all downhill. From here.
From
Yeah, exactly. But that's how it works. That's if you keep expectations low, people can only expect the worst. So when you exceed that, they feel happy.
Okay, but side note, it was your birthday this week / last week.
Oh my God! What a surprise.
How old did you turn?
27.
It's all downhill from there.
Wow. I mean, when I hit 30, that's definitely true.
That is the easiest setup in the world.
I'm 1 year closer to 30.
I know, I'm 30.
1 year being old.
I'm 30, turning 31 this year. It's all downhill from there.
Man, you and Lenska surprised me
oh my God.
on my birthday. It was such a good time.
We could have filmed your reaction because it's like 2-3 weeks before Shani messaged and then your mom's messaging like, hey, do you guys want to join us? We're going to have like a little surprise party. You're like, yeah, cool. But then you walked in and you just appeared. It wasn't a big thing of like we had a big sign up saying happy birthday and you had
I got conned by my dad.
Yeah,
very
you
well.
didn't have like millions of people like hiding around, in a closet, whatever. You just walked in the house. You were like, oh hey, surprise. But you were like, the hell? Like, what's going on here?
Because I just got home from, my dad basically said his car battery died at the shop down the road, which totally made sense because he told me he had been having issues with his car. Just the night prior, I wanted to take his car to pick up Shani, and he was like, no, don't take my car because it's a problem.
Oh boy.
And it legit is a problem. So I went there and then his car was working, so I was like, fine, whatever, let's go back. Then I walked in and I walked into the kitchen and I knew my sister and her boyfriend were there because they were coming over for Easter lunch. So I heard them talking.
Yeah.
And so I went into the kitchen and all I hear is surprise. And I look up and the first people I see are my sister and her boyfriend. So I'm like, what? And you and Lenska were like obscured in the background. And then I only saw you. So that's why it took me a good 10 seconds. Like,
yeah, but just the look on your face. You walked in and you could just see the calculations happening. You're like, huh? What? Hey,
oh, Matty's here.
What?
Oh.
That is so funny.
And then as soon as I saw you, I was like, yeah.
But the Lenska was like, surprise. And then she's like, she like hid behind your sister. I'm like, but why are you doing? You've already shouted. Like, why are you hiding now?
Man, it was literally one of those things like in a movie, like if everything around me stopped, my brain was just like, the cogs of a clock would just
I could see that on your face.
It's like, oh God, it like.
Next time we record the whole thing.
It was such a good surprise. And then you bought me Breezer.
And we ate so much food.
The food was delicious. Good food. Ooh, vegetarian lasagna.
It was. You would never tell the difference.
Oh, you'd never tell. If you served that and never told anyone,
they would never know. And that's
but vegetarian food is gross, Matty. Don't you know?
It's disgusting, man.
Don't you know? That's what every meat eater says.
I eat every ounce of meat in my life.
We both eat meat, but we both we both know that vegetarian food is fucking great as well.
Well, Lenska's vegetarian, and when we eat at home, I don't eat meat, and it's not a thing of and your parents are vegetarians. So
so whenever I eat at home, it's vegetarian.
It's not a thing of like I must have my steak at least three
we
times a day.
We very rarely have meat in the house, and if I do, I have to cook it.
Yeah,
so I generally don't.
Yeah, but you're right there. I mean, it's not that I do eat meat. I just don't eat it as often. I suppose,
which is actually not a bad compromise as well. Like so,
it's a balance.
Yeah, it's a good balance. But we had that. We had lots of cake. We had like 3 cakes that day. I don't know.
And ice cream.
Cream. Yeah, it was a lot of food. It was a real fat day. I had breezes. I had some of those biscuits afterwards. So
they're good, eh?
They're like Mario biscuits with chocolate.
With chocolate, it's good. Like it's a double Mario biscuit with like a chocolate
and
filling.
That pack is half a kilo. It doesn't look like it. It's heavy.
You
Those
pick it up,
biscuits
you're
are
like,
dense.
whoa.
Yeah. Like, I had one biscuit. I was like, holy crap,
Get
this
it,
is
bro,
actually
you
pretty
lift.
big. Yeah. It's a, man.
Take that
So
to gym
good.
and do some...
Yeah, just do some
And then-
curls with the
then
biscuits.
you reward yourself by eating one, and then it gets lighter.
Exactly. Every rep, you take a bite. And you only finished your set once you're done.
Oh no, then you have another packet. This is how you get fit.
Strap
This
two
is
packets together.
fact. Portuguese fitness 101.
Listen, that's the only way they. I think all Europeans stay fit is they walk everywhere because the number of pastries they eat is obscene.
Can I tell you a story? I have to. This is so. Last night, I was talking to my mom. My mom in Madeira at the moment. There for the next 6 months.
So lucky.
Enjoying a summer there. But she's actually planning to do the Camino. Or part of the Camino.
what's the
It's
Camino?
like a spiritual walk. Very long.
Like a
walk.
religious thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to be religious, but it's just.
Wait,
like
is it that walk to Fatima?
No, I don't know if that's part of it or if that's a separate
That's in
thing.
mainland Portugal.
It's called like I think it's the Camino de Santiago. Okay, so it's a walk that it's quite a long trail. You can do parts of it, or the whole thing it includes like Portugal, Spain, and France. Like
Oh, heck, okay, it's definitely not what
so
I'm thinking
she's
of then.
doing part of it.
Okay.
But I think she starts in Porto and she ends up in Spain or so like something like that. She's
Hectic.
doing like a 2-week part of it. Okay.
Huh.
The whole trail is like 1,500 k's. I think she's doing like 300. Let's say.
How long does this take?
If you do the whole thing, it'll take you months, I think. But she's
so she's doing a portion.
she's doing 2 weeks, and she's doing like 20 k's a day. So it's like
20 k's a day.
Yeah, it's like just a walk, couple hours.
That's
walk.
still a lot. Wow.
No, it's long.
That's
Like,
impressive.
She's doing it, and yesterday she's like, "Yeah, my travel agent was telling me that I'm gonna have to every day go to a convenience store and buy myself bread and like ham, whatever." And I'm in my head like,
staple diet.
I'm like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, yeah, because apparently there's no coffee and pastries on the way. But my mom is like absolutely concerned. Like there are no coffee and pastries.
That sounds like a national disaster. Like honestly,
it is so because Lenska. I was talking to my mom, but Lenska could hear.
Yeah.
Lenska just broke out into like silent laughter. Like that is not a priority when you're doing like the spiritual walk. You know.
Listen, it's
Oh my God, it was so funny.
when you used to living where there's a pastry shop within like spitting distance in every direction at any time.
Madeira is actually a lot like that where you're at every single corner there's a bakery or something where you can buy a nice chinesa and a pastry. Oof. But just the concern, my mom's like, I have to go to a convenience store because apparently on the walk there's no pastries or coffee along the way.
How dare they?
You're like, God forbid. But mom, here's the way my mom framed it. Like, she's going to starve to death. Like, there's nothing else to eat at all. We're like,
This is such a terrible walk. I have to bring bread,
I know.
dip it in water.
God. What am I, a pigeon?
Yeah. But that's also a staple thing. Is just like, I remember when I've been to Europe, like anywhere, like in Germany or Portugal especially, like, it's really easy to go to a store just down the road, like a convenience store, get bread, cheese, and like a cold meat, like a presunto or something like that, and just make sandwiches for dinner. And that shit is so good.
It's affordable.
Yeah, it's affordable.
People are like, Europe's expensive. Like, yeah, the rand's like quite shit. But
Europe's expensive if you go to restaurants.
If you go to restaurants, yeah, I think in South Africa we take it for granted. Like restaurants here can be expensive, but for the most part they're pretty affordable. I mean, you can have a good meal somewhere for like 70, 80 rand. In Europe, that's like impossible. You go to a restaurant, you're going to pay like 10 to 20 euros or somewhere in that region.
Yeah, going out is it's expensive. But I mean, even us, we found good places, good cafes where we had good meals. You know, for decent prices.
Yeah. I mean, a Prague was like 3 euros.
I also think South Africa has this. I find our restaurants, their portions are way bigger than they should be. So we are ingrained to think that a meal has to be this big thing.
Big, yeah.
And I find America is 100% identical to us.
Yeah. Everything's
but Europe
massive.
is very different. I think, like we had a breakfast where it was just like a Prego, which like is just the sandwich. Like that's it. And you're like, oh, that looks tiny. But when you're done, you're like, I feel kind of good.
Although we got conned the ones.
Oh, with the chips thing. Yeah, that was a fucking bullshit.
They're like, would you like chips? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, but I think they serve it with like, not chips the way we think like slap chips
Like
or
Lay's
fried
chips.
chips. Yeah, but they serve it with Lay's chips. So I was like, I'm sure they serve it like that.
Such a European
But
thing,
then they were
so
like, no, do you want chips? And we were like, yeah,
Share
okay.
some chips, yeah.
And like, okay, but there are 4 of us. Should we get two chips each, just to share between the two, to one plate for 2 people? These chips arrived and we're like, oh man, that is a lot of chips
on the plate, and then when the chips arrive, there's
actual chips. We're like, okay, we made a mistake.
And then I still ate a pish day after that.
But it was
because I had to. Pish day almost the size of my hand.
Oh man, we still need to buy that cake one day. Should have bought you a pish day cake. Damn it.
One day. I just want to know how a slice works. Like,
it's
is it just the congealed custard?
Goodness, I'm sure.
And do you think they make the base thicker to support that?
Oh man, yeah,
the
you need
flaky
a
base would not
thick
work.
base, yeah, to support all that custard. It must be thicker.
What would be dope? A cheesecake, but like the cheesecake we had on my birthday, the top layer was like cream.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that cheesecake's so good. But imagine the top layer is just like the pastry custard.
Oh man.
And
I'm thinking of the cake and the ice cream on your. Oh man, it's so good.
That cheesecake, so I ate so much.
And
of
the birthday cake flavored ice cream, which your dad insisted we finished.
Yeah.
It was like another helping for you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you just took it. I felt really bad for you because I was like, I cannot. I'm sorry, but I cannot.
took it for the team.
You did.
It's hardly like a bad thing. It's like, Paul's birthday cake. Yes.
It's just good ice cream. It's a good time.
So I did it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to drink my Red Bull. Show not brought to you by Red Bull.
Not brought to you by Red Bull, but I'm drinking a Red Bull. So good.
Your bad habits
I could see the
rubbing off on me
and flow down through.
I was thirsty.
This is Checkpoint Chat.
Yeah.
Episode 51. Here to talk about video games.
Remember, it's all downhill from here.
All downhill from here. Well, we did spend like double the time on our opening than we usually do.
No, we've sometimes had like 10-minute openings.
One day it will just be a whole episode.
We're like, whoa, we didn't talk about anything. Goodbye.
But we actually have 2 very recent, very modern games to talk about.
For a
that
change.
we both played. It's not just me going, hey, I played that new game, and Matty's like,
it's not me 3 years from now. Yeah, that's nice. I wish I could play new games.
The game that we've both really been playing a lot of is Days Gone.
Days Gone, although...
We've been playing it for like 2 weeks.
Although you say played a lot of, you've actually finished the game. Which, how long do you think it took you to finish it?
Too
like
long.
a ballpark figure.
Way too long.
Was that 30 hours, 40 hours? 40, okay.
I've seen people, I know
Marco.
my good pal, so Marco from SA Gamer took about 80.
Jeez.
He did a lot of side stuff.
He did all the side stuff.
And I know my good pal Callie, who's my reviews editor, GameSpot, took 60.
God damn. Okay, so you finish it, let's say...
I'd say
40 hours.
But not even about halfway through, I was just like, fuck this. I'm mainlining, like, I've done some of the side stuff, and I was like, this is all very boring. And I just mainline story stuff, which actually includes a lot of the side stuff that you have to do anyway.
So I've played about 15 to 18 hours, which I tweeted when the review embargo lifted. I was like, hey, I've only played this much. Here are some quick thoughts. And Marco's like, my dude, you like, that's a tutorial, basically. I was like, it can't really be a tutorial. But yeah, I understand that I'm not that far in the game.
So here's the real problem with that statement is that sure, that's the tutorial, but the game never evolves.
It never changes, yeah.
I don't think in your first 90 minutes, you've seen it. You've seen that game in the first 90 minutes. There's nothing that changes or evolves in a meaningful way that makes anything you do after that different.
The only thing that changes, I imagine, is obviously you upgrade your bike and you get different weapons. But let's backpedal. We're diving in too deep already.
Days Gone.
Deek St. John. My favorite part of the game. Side notes. So the main character is Deek and St. John. Everyone calls him Deek.
Yeah. Deacon. I wish it was Beacon St. John.
Deek. No, everyone calls him Deek.
Deek.
For how many years, every time I message him, like, hey, like Dick, but hey, Deek, to like soften the insult.
Yeah, exactly.
So every time I play the game, I'm like, it's you.
The names of these characters are so bizarre. So, like, Deacon St. John and his pal Boozer, I think it's... I don't know the dude's
I don't know what
real
his main name is. They mentioned it, but I'm like, yeah.
Do they mention it? I don't even know if they mention it.
It's Boozer or Booze Man.
Fuck, it's the stupidest abbreviation of that name. Just hearing that dude go, hey, Booze Man, I'm like,
why?
So cringy. Like, Boozer's fine. I don't care about Boozer, but hey, Booze Man, it just makes it sound like you keep calling an alcoholic.
You like what?
Like, hey, Booze Man, where's my whiskey?
Maybe he was. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, but they basically... This is a zombie game. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you'd have no idea what we're talking about, Days Gone is an open world, not a zombie game though, because they are not called zombies in the game. You pointed out before the show, but it's a zombie game, but it's not because the studio, what's it, Bend Studios,
Bend, yeah,
insisted that they are not zombies. They are called freakers. There's a difference.
The difference is that their freakers are alive. They haven't died.
They're just, I suppose, people who have lost their hair and gone mad.
They've gone mad. This is a suggestion later on in the game. You'll get there where at one point I thought that was going to be the big twist, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. But there's a group of bad guys called Rippers.
Oh, yeah.
The guys who like to cut themselves up. And they respect these freakers. They do not kill the freakers, which is
weird, yeah.
But they'll kill normal people and cut them up. But these freakers, nah, man.
Yeah.
And they, later on in the game, you find out that the reason these people are all crazy is because they basically hyped up on PCP and bath salts.
Oh, that fits.
So they fucked up, like they don't feel pain.
That checks out.
Yeah. This isn't a spoiler because this is just, I just thought this was a stupid thing. Like,
yeah.
And then there's this insinuation that maybe the freakers are actually just these people on the drugs but have gone too far. And I was like, oh my God, if this goes there, I will fucking throw this game.
Throw it out the window.
If you tell me that the zombie apocalypse was caused by PCP and bath salts. It turns out that isn't the case, but there was a good half an hour there where I was like, oh my God, no.
So yeah, in the game you get, you get the freakers, but you're obviously not just fighting not fake zombies. You're fighting humans as well, because we all know any good zombie story or comic or game really excels in the dealing with the human element. What happens to people in the situation? How do they deal with it? What happens to their humanity? That sort of thing. And you get different factions, mostly just bad people, or like you said, these what's the cult called again? I've gone blank. The ones who cut themselves in that. We just said rippers. Yeah, so you get like just bad people and rippers.
And I think the only other faction is like marauders, which are like humans that are just bad.
Humans, yeah, that are just there to rob you and do all sort of bad things.
And then you get Deek and Boozer, who they call drifters.
Drifters, yeah.
Who are basically people who don't live at a camp, but they do bounties for camps. So instead of just calling them bounty hunters,
they're drifters.
Because Days Gone likes to rename things without actually fundamentally changing them. Like again, the freakers. In the marketing, it was like, you will see the distinction between freakers and zombies because these are alive and whatever. The game itself, if you didn't follow the marketing, you would not understand the difference because it never mentions that.
No, and to be honest, it's not. Days Gone is not the first IP that's ever represented like the undead, or well, not the undead, but zombies or bad people
in
like
a different way. Yeah,
I mean, World War Z is very much they're zombies, but they sprint at you, they're angry, they work as a group. It's like, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah,
if you compare like World War Z zombies to like Resident Evil zombies, they are completely different, but they're zombies.
I've been playing Resident Evil 2 simultaneously, and
a much better game.
It's weird because Resident Evil 2, you get grabbed, you get bitten. I can tell you I was highly disappointed in Days Gone when I just get punched by
they just kind of like hit you.
They don't bite you or anything.
Yeah, they just scratch you.
They just run at you and they attack you.
And it also seems like the virus isn't propagated in that way, which is I guess that makes it different from zombies. It's like, it's not like, hey, you get scratched or cut or whatever, you're gonna become one of them. It's like, you got infected by this virus and some people just die, and other people turn into these things.
And other people are just immune, I guess, because how do those people survive?
Other people are just immune. Yeah,
because you do get that pocket of survivors.
Yeah. So the main so it's hard talking about.
I think we've just rambled, but we haven't actually I don't know.
Okay, so this game has a lot of open world tropes that you've like played in a lot of other games. If you've played a Far Cry, the blueprint of Days Gone is very similar, I think. So I feel like Days Gone tries to have two pieces of two very different cakes. Like, it tries to give you this open world freedom of like a Far Cry, but then tries to funnel you down this emotional story like a Last of Us. And it can't like collate both of them in meaningful ways. I think the open world stuff is the open world activities are pretty boring, I find. I find like you go to marauder camps, you kill a bunch of people, and you unlock a fast travel point. And you have to listen to Deek and look at a map, and his voice acting, I put it this way, it's not the voice actor that I think is bad. Sam Witter is not bad.
Yeah.
I think the writing is bad.
And it was just jarring as well.
It's
sometimes
super jarring. Like you'll look at a map, you'll be like, "Oh yes, a map. Yes." And you're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like,
not only that. So there were moments in the game where I don't know if you remember right at the beginning. You find like a stash of drugs.
yes.
And then a helicopter flies overhead. This isn't a spoiler because it's like literally within the first hour, I'd say, of the game. And then, as you imagine, some freaker apocalypse, you want to call it that, a helicopter, what? Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? Yeah.
And I've just snuck into the cemetery it's like filled with freakers. And then out of nowhere, the voice actor starts like shouting.
Yeah.
Like, there's a helicopter. I'm like, dude, like I've just snuck in here. Like, what the hell? And it just, that happens throughout the game as well, where there are moments where you're sneaking into a camp and this dude's having a full-on conversation with someone else on the radio. Like, oh, hey, like I've snuck into the camp. I'm like, but I'm sneaking in. You can't just do that.
Deacon talks to himself a lot.
A lot, yeah, which is fine because I imagine it's to give the character flavor, which I can understand why they do it. But
sounds like needless exposition.
Yeah,
at
and
times. Like,
it just feels jarring sometimes.
It just doesn't feel it. Marco from SA Gamer basically told me, he's like, "Do you think Deacon's mad? Like, do you think he's actually like properly like lost it? Because there are times where the things he's saying, I'm like, this is not normal."
Yeah, I mean,
really not
if
normal.
you go into like one thing I was talking to you about, I find it so weird. You go to a camp of people, and yeah, they're bad people, but you'll kill one person, or you walk in and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill like all these marauders and rapists, and I'm like, you don't even know these people. Like, they could be bad people, but you're just killing, assuming that everyone's done something bad, and he like says it in every camp he goes to, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
It's so dry. There's so many things in Days Gone that it introduces to you and then just never touches again. Like, at the beginning, the first few hours are about you getting this like drug stash, and then you have to decide who you want to give the drug stash to. Do you want to give it to this camp run by a guy named Copeland, who's like a conspiracy theorist in the apocalypse, which is bizarre.
I love those conspiracies.
God, I started just skipping them because I was just like, I can't. And then there's the other camp who's run by Tucker, and it's basically like a slave camp.
Yeah.
It's like a work camp, but she's like, people have to work to earn their keep, and she's just like,
we must survive.
Indiscriminately working these people to death. Like, and you have to decide who to give the drugs to. And these two camps do not like each other. So I assume there was going to be like, if I give to one, there's going to be a repercussion.
There's
no repercussions. And there's never a moment in the game where something like that is brought up again. The only time where you have to decide on camps is like when you find a survivor in the open world. Like, and then there's another mission where it's like Boozer, because Boozer's out of commission for a while for reasons. And they're like, oh, Boozer needs meat to eat. It's like, okay. And you go, like, this is like 10 hours in. 10 hours in, it's like, hey, let's teach you about hunting. It's like, dude, I've been hunting.
That was weird. Yeah, I also found it's like a random story mission, like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to hunt now. I'm like,
and
what?
It opens up this like really, really intricate hunting system where it's like, oh, you're following tracks or whatever, because Deacon has his own like detective vision mode, which highlights things of importance around him. So it's like, oh, you got to follow animal droppings and then tracks, and which you never do ever again. And then you hunt something and you bring the meat to Boozer, and you never ever have to do that again. Your character doesn't need to eat.
No.
Boozer never needs to eat. The only time you hand in meat is at camps for credits.
Yeah.
So why the fuck did they make...
I don't know.
What?
But even that, so you get this tutorial for hunting, and did you ever hunt again? I just straight up went to an animal, was like, yeah, I'm driving past this animal, maybe I could just go hand in some meat for the hell of it. But I never hunted the thing properly.
No, because like also like turning in rewards for meat is so little. So camps work on like rewards, so you don't have a single currency.
Yeah.
You have a currency for each camp.
Which I found shocking, because at one point I was like, yo, I'm so rich. And I went to another camp, I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's like influence. So they give you like credit for doing stuff in the world, and like tiers of rewards. So upgrades and weapons that you buy are locked based on how influential you are with the camp. So it's like to get to the higher spec weapons, you're going to need to do lots of side missions for this camp.
That camp, yeah.
And I feel like the grind is real slow.
It is real slow.
It's really, really slow.
Can I tell you, when I found that third camp, the first thing that went through my head was not, a new camp. It was like, oh my God, I have to get influence with the third camp now to try unlock whatever the hell it has.
Well, do you know, when I got to that third camp, I never touched the other two ever again. Like,
I
legitimately did not go to those other
Wow.
two, because the third camp had the best motorcycle upgrades and the best weapons. So I was like, why am I going to waste my time doing these other missions that aren't progressing the story? Because the third camp, suddenly all the missions there are story related. So I did like 3 missions for each of the camps, and like never ever, I literally did not step foot in those camps again. Like, I never went back to Tucker. I never went back to Copenhagen.
The only reason I have gone back is because the game does this weird thing where you have to do everything open before you can progress the story. So that includes doing random side stuff. So I haven't got to the part of the game where I can start ignoring that.
Yeah.
The moment it's still funding me down, it's like, oh, hey, go do this side thing for me. Oh, I've had points in the game where I literally have nothing in my quest tab. And I'm like,
you just got to ride around,
I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then it's like, well, what do I do? And then I ride around. It's like, oh, hey, you get a call, and the person's like, here's a quest. I'm like, okay, that's so annoying. Just let me funnel myself down the main quest if I want to.
It happened a lot of times where I'd finish a mission at the third camp, and I'd have nothing left. So I'd drive out the camp, and literally as I drive out, I get a radio call, so I just do a U-turn because the waypoint is at the camp again.
Yeah.
And I did that about 5-6 times. Like, whenever I didn't have a waypoint, I'd just drive out, stop,
wait,
radio message, turn around, come back. Like, why?
I don't know.
What is it? Is it encouraging you to go see the world? Cool, but there's not much to do out there.
Yeah.
Like, the one. Okay, so I've ragged on this game a lot. Like, the story I don't think is that compelling. I think the pacing is all over the place.
Pacing's, yeah,
it's too slow. That game should be half the time, and it's too slow. The missions aren't that good. What I do like is the combat. I think the combat's pretty cool. I think the guns you get, even though there's not that many, I think it feels good to shoot a shotgun in that game. Like, it feels like powerful. And
the guns do pack
reactive.
a punch.
Yeah, they pack a cool punch. And I don't like the inventory wheel that much. I think it's too packed.
Yeah,
Like, it's fine, but
it works. But like, I don't know how else I would have done it. But
yeah, that's the thing. I'm like,
you have so much stuff where it's like, I need to heal myself. And then late in the game, you get so many different like healing cocktails and enhancements. So the way it works is that you push a button and you open up your weapon wheel.
It's like a radial menu.
Yeah. And then you go to say healing, and then when you're there, that opens up another sub menu that has all your healing. So when you have...
And the game doesn't pause while you're doing this. It like
it slows down. Yeah. So when you're trying to heal yourself, you like have to quickly start on time, go to the healing. Then that menu like expands. You have to choose from 5 or 6 different things, and you have to sit and move your thumbstick. It works, but it is like, it's very busy.
Did you find it was sometimes imprecise? Sometimes I'd be like, I'm trying to go to the left to get my gun, and it's like opening up the healing sub.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
And once it's opened up the healing sub menu, you have to back out like so aggressively to get back.
Yeah. But I don't know how else they would have done it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's either that, or it's like you had to pause your game to do that, and I think that'd be worse. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn struggles with its UI as well.
Yeah, like the only other fix was Horizon Zero Dawn had a thing of, what is my complaint with it? You could only equip so many weapons.
I think it was like 4 weapons at a time.
Yeah, and like I want to choose 5 or 6 weapons. You can only have 4 at a time. So taking down some of those enemies, it helps to combine your weapons. It's like, I have to go to the menu, swap out my quick weapon, and that didn't work. So it's like they could have done that, but maybe then it's it's like what do you do?
I don't like that wheel, but yeah, like you said, I'm not entirely sure how they would have made it better. So like, but whatever.
I agree with you. The combat's fun, and I do enjoy. Like, I give the freakers a lot of shit, but I did enjoy the encounters I had with them.
They're actually really cool. Yeah. Like, the game is far more stealth focused than I thought it would be. So you're like stealthing through these areas, like picking up a lot of picking up resources, because the upper limits on how much you can carry are so damn low that it's like you can only carry 10 scrap, but it will cost like 8 scrap for you to repair
if you
a melee
destroy
weapon.
your weapon. Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, why can't I carry maybe 15 or 20 scrap?
Yeah.
Like, I walk past so many resources just because
you couldn't pick it up. Yeah.
Whatever. But it's like, it's super stealth focused because like firstly, Deacon dies super quickly.
Yeah, you are very soft in that game.
Yeah, I feel like I was constantly
fun fact,
regenerating.
I still haven't died in the game.
Really? Are you playing on normal?
I've been just very careful.
I've died plenty times.
No, but I've had it where I've died once when I ran off a cliff by mistake.
Oh, nice.
I ran off. I was like, oh no, I'll probably survive.
On
and
your
I
bike?
died. No, I was running, and then it was like not a cliff. It was like I don't know, like say.
Because I've ramped my bike and it
3, 4
exploded and I died. So
I was like, well, this is a dumb way to die. I mean, in the zombie apocalypse, I fall off a cliff. Who would have thought?
just get that like mistakes were made thing on the side.
Yeah. Well, that GTA wasted.
Yeah.
No, so I'm playing on normal, and it's not because, like we've said, Deacon's very soft, but I think I've been very lucky in that I've gotten into situations where I've nearly died, but that's where I've found the most excitement in the game, where I've like just made it out, or I've just survived by the skin of my teeth. I mean, I've had a one point where I was just blindly following a road on my bike, and I ended up driving into like a horde of freakers.
Oh shit!
And it was a dead end, and I couldn't turn around. And
Did they not knock you off your bike?
Yeah, sometimes I knock you off a bike.
Yeah.
I got knocked off my bike, so I was like, oh god. But I didn't die. I like managed to run away and survive. But
That's
those
crazy.
moments are awesome. Like I've had a bunch of those where things didn't go quite as planned. I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to survive this? And I really love that about the game.
The dynamic feel of the world is pretty cool. Like the little points of missions aren't that great because they're so like cookie cutter and predictable.
And I hate how they. So when you're driving on the world map, will sometimes flash a question mark.
Yeah.
To like, and
it
it's
just
like
disappears.
It's like it shows it, then it disappears. I'm like, but am I riding the right direction to get there?
Yeah.
And sometimes like you don't find anything, and it's a bit weird.
Also, that map is super inconsistent. Like
you have to be on your bike for
you'll
things
go
to be
to, like,
highlighted.
like infected zones where you have to like burn these nests of enemies.
Don't even get me started.
And sometimes they'll mark all the nests on the map, and sometimes they won't. And I can't figure out if it's a thing I'm not doing.
I don't know.
I
I don't know if it's a thing you learn to feel in the game, because when you and I both, I mean, I messaged you at one point saying this game is frustrating me because like 4 or 5 hours in, I was trying to burn 3 nests.
Oh, in the cemetery.
And the area on the map was big. Okay, so I found 2 of the nests, and I couldn't for the life of me find the third. Despite driving through this area, like to me, combing every single inch, I could not find this thing. Eventually, I just quit. So I was like, okay, I'm done playing this game today. And I messaged you saying this game's frustrating me, and you said, yeah, I struggled with the same mission.
The exact same one.
And then
funny,
I load back in, and then there it is marked on my map. And I was like, but why? Why now?
Yeah.
Like, how did it just get marked? So
I went to some zones where it doesn't mark any, and then some as I'd entered it, like all the nests are marked.
No, because sometimes I know why it's marked is when you go into a bunker and you find a map. Sometimes that marks it.
Oh, that makes sense.
But sometimes, like my one was like, I didn't find a map. I literally quit the game.
Okay.
I quit the game. I loaded in, and there it was marked for me. So I don't know.
I didn't think of I thought the map. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no. The maps. My only understanding is that the map will mark some things like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I really hate that Deacon makes the same like voice. The same soundbite plays whenever you get to a nest. He's like, oh, it smells pretty bad. It must be a nest. And then he's like gagging the whole time.
Then
like,
when you leave,
up.
he's like, I'll be back. You sons of bitches.
I'll come burn these later. Oh no, I can smell it. That's him. That's Deacon the whole fucking irritating.
Okay, we're ragging on this game, but it does have some redeeming factors.
The dynamic parts of the game really, really cool because like you can be, so even though you're going to camps and they're pretty boring, I liked being stealthy because there were moments where there was one camp in particular where there was always a horde chilling around the corner.
So you had to be careful.
So if I shot or if the enemy saw me and started shooting, that horde just fucking decimated us. It just ran in. But then I also found out, hey, I can use these people. So what I started doing was I started chucking grenades at where most of the enemies were, and the horde went in that direction.
That direction.
I just hid somewhere else.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just let the horde annihilate their place, and when they couldn't find anyone, they kind of like
they go back,
and
whatever.
I just like pick it, and I was like, that is cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
So a horde in the game is literally just a collection of like hundreds, dozens, if not hundreds of freakers, and
they're not specific points. They can form anywhere if you make enough noise.
So that's the thing I was saying. Look, what's cool about the open world is that when you sometimes you just drive into danger. Like it happened to me many times, and the number of times I've like driven around a corner and there's just a horde there. I'm like, oh god, turn around, drive
and then
away.
they see you, and yeah.
And when they move at you, it's quite a thing because it's hundreds of them, and you can't just sprint and run away. You've got a stamina bar which runs out very quickly. So if you get caught off guard, which has happened to me many times, it can be pretty intense.
Annihilated sometimes.
But that is cool that you can turn them against the enemies like that. And I mean, have you obviously took some down playing the game?
So what's strange is that you know from basically the beginning that you can take on these hordes, but you are so ill-equipped to do that. Like there's one of those like research centers that you find that like had a horde on it, and I left it till near the end of the game.
Right at the beginning. No, there was a way around it.
No, you can 100%. I'm not saying you can't, but like I tried I think twice and I died both times. I was just like, fuck it, I don't have time for this. But eventually near the end of about 40 hours in, near the real end of the game, you get a story mission that lets you take on a horde. Basically teaches you how to take on a horde. Yeah. And then it just gives you like 2 or 3 missions after that are the same thing, which is like, oh, that's weird. But that part is like super exciting. It's when I played it at E3 last year, I thought it felt real janky, but it actually feels cool because you kind of use your environment, you use explosives and environmental hazards to kind of chip away at this horde.
Thin the numbers.
Because there's no way you're just going at them with a gun, like you'll die.
No, although the reveal trailer, I remember I was thinking back on it, that was straight up Deek doing something and like having to run away from the horde.
There's actually there's a part in the story where you go to that area. It's like a lumber mill, and I was like, oh, we're gonna do that thing. No, doesn't.
I know.
even the trailer that came out the E3 after that, where it was like you're infiltrating a camp and using the horde against the camp. That exact mission does not exist.
No, I must actually go watch his videos again, just as a matter of interest.
Which is fine. Like they use those. Days Gone is not the first and certainly not the last game at E3 to show something that eventually gets cut, and that's fine. But yeah, the dynamic feel of the world is really cool. It's probably my favorite part of the game. Just because like, oh shit, this encounter's going south. Now these people are shooting me. I'm dying. And we're making a bunch of noise. These zombies are being attracted. And like suddenly this really easy fight against 3 people can turn into a complete like shit
and then
show.
It starts raining and it's storming.
Ooh, the visual effects on the game are real good.
Game's pretty.
Game is really pretty.
Yeah. I mean, you play it on PS4 Pro though.
Yeah, storms look beautiful and sunrises when the ground is wet look incredible. And then there's like a really cool weather system that kicks in later in the game where it starts snowing. And the snow cool. Collects on items like your bike and stuff like that.
Really that's cool. Yeah, but we can't discount the some of the visual issues and performance issues.
I've heard on regular PS4 the performance is actually way worse than on Pro, and I had real issues.
And I mean it works. Like I have the game works fine, but there are moments where the frames just drop horribly, like and then it kicks back in, like, okay, that's fine.
I also found it was at times where I didn't expect it to. Like sometimes with the hordes, I'm like, cool. There's a lot of enemies. It makes sense, a
lot of numbers. Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just like out of nowhere. I'm like, what's happening?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the sort of thing they can patch out, but there are some performance issues. It doesn't make the game unplayable. It's just more irritating.
I had a lot of really irritating bugs
and load screens.
Yeah, the game has a lot of load screens. Like every cutscene has a load screen before it, which I feel the patch made those shorter because at first I was like, this is ridiculous.
It's way too long. Yeah.
But when the game first loads, it takes like 3 minutes to load into the main menu.
The main menu, then you have to load again.
You have to load again into the game, which takes like another 2-3 minutes.
Yeah,
and
was weird.
It's just really jarring in a mission. Like some of the later missions are very story heavy, so you'll have like scripted cutscenes. So it's like you'll walk for a minute, boom, fade to black. Fade out, cutscene, fade to black again, and it just does that incessantly. I'm like, this feels bad. This just doesn't feel good. But then I had like my character clipped into things and couldn't get out. I had sound disappearing on me. I had like a weird bug where NPCs stopped walking. Like
I had a bug where there was the sound of someone riding a bike, and I was like, oh god, like there are bad guys around, whatever. So eventually, like I hide. And the bike just carries on making that noise. I'm like, okay, they're not getting closer, but they're not getting further. So I just hear this noise. Eventually, I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? I went and I walked, and it was just this there should have been a bike there, but there was nothing.
Yeah.
Just the sound was playing repeatedly. I'm going, I was like, okay, that's weird.
I've had something like that in a lot of other games where you shoot and the shooting sound just loops.
Oh,
It's
no,
really annoying.
that's so annoying.
I had my bike audio completely disappear a couple of times. So I just hear Deacon shouting into the wilderness.
I've had that as well. I had a bug where I threw a Molotov and I accidentally set myself on fire, which happens sometimes. No, like, did you never catch fire in the game?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, so I had that, but my fire never went out. I stopped taking damage, but there's me, Deacon, on fire, hiding in a bush, like,
Holy fuck,
please
you're
don't
playing
see
a
me.
Ghost Rider game, essentially.
I actually wanted to send you a video, but it's funny, it was like that, I'm not even joking, for like 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
And as I was like, I have to send you a video, then it fixed itself while I was riding the bike.
It's like, I won't let you embarrass me.
So I was going to say the exact same thing, like, look, I'm Ghost Rider. And it just fixed it.
That's funny, I would have played that game.
Yeah. It was very irritating because you know how hard it is to see anything when you're covered in flames.
And did it have the crackling fire sound?
No, it was just silent flames.
Weird.
So the visual effect was there, but it wasn't like enemies could see me because I was on fire. So I was literally hiding in bushes, people walking past
That would have looked so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
There's one enemy in the game that pisses me off. I don't think you've seen them yet, but there's a Ripper that sets themselves on fire and then just comes to hug you.
Oh, what the hell?
It's the most ridiculous thing because they run at you, they grab you, and then you've got to do those fucking QTEs kill me. They're like mashing this button to get away from someone. But as you're mashing the button, you're just taking fire damage.
Oh, no.
So 9 times out of 10, you die because
you're just
like
burning it.
Your health bar just disappears. Like,
Jesus.
and then even if you get him off you, you're on fire. So... Man, but it just sucks because you just see this guy on fire running at you and you're like no, stay away. And he just hugs you.
It's like, I just want some love.
Yeah, I just want some cuddles.
But
that's Days Gone. It's entirely middle of the road game for me.
Yeah, when we were playing, I mean, we kept saying like it's
fine.
It's not a bad game, but it's not a great game. It honestly is middle of the road.
It is below the bar of what I expect from Sony exclusives.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think why it gets such a bad rap, especially, is because like we've had excellent PS4 exclusives, and honestly, Days Gone would have a lot to like. God of War cleaned up. How many Year of the Awards did it grab last? I mean, Game of the Year awards did it grab? Yeah, most of them. So it's pretty big shoes to fill, which is a bit unfair because, you know...
It is, yeah.
Just because it's a PS4 exclusive.
But it's also you know, with PS4, you've got these games like Uncharted and God of War.
You just expect the standard of games.
Yeah, and you think, okay, Sony's got a good handle on how to, you know, manage these games. And this, I think it was Kirk McKinnon, who writes for VG247, in his review, he said Days Gone falls well below the bar of what Sony exclusives have been, but it's still pretty much better than a lot of recent Microsoft exclusives. And I kind of agree with that. Like, if you look, this isn't a trash fire. This just is like, it just is. You know what I mean? This isn't a big PS4 event like a lot of their exclusives have been.
But yeah, look, I think if you enjoy open world games, all the standard tropes are there. Like, there's stuff to do that'll keep you busy for.
There's towers to climb.
There's
There's bases to unlock. There's enemy camps to clear out. And then there's just a ridiculously long, boring story.
Yeah, so there is plenty to do there, and there's an open world. It's a pretty open world. Freakers off.
Fun to poke around.
Yeah, it is fun to poke around, but pacing issues, some technical issues, some other issues, but
refueling the bike
again
sucks.
Really middle of the road game. It's fun, it's not bad, but it's not great. So
it's not great. It's
take from that what you will.
I will not probably play this again.
You finished it now, so
and I kind of enjoyed what I played, but I do think it could have been half the time.
I still want to finish it. I'm definitely gonna try push to the end because like, regardless, I do want to see...
Man, that story goes into some dumb places.
Yeah, I just want to see what happens with the story. Because this is the last thing I'll say in the game, is that, you know, what is Deacon's partner's name? Sarah. So the game hinges on, like, Deacon is now 2 years into this outbreak, but you get flashbacks to what happened during, like, at the...
He calls her old lady.
Old lady, yeah. But you see him meeting her and then them during the outbreak happening. So you're getting, like, bits and pieces of the story, and I want to see... How do they actually end up together? Because Deacon is this trash motorbike.
It is some fucking dumb shit.
Really.
There is
he's this big grunt biker, and she's this innocent.
There is a moment.
Person.
If you really don't want spoilers, although I don't think it's spoilery, but like turn off for 30 seconds. There is a moment where you have a flashback to their wedding day.
Oh no!
And no one pitches to the wedding because no one really agrees with them getting married except Boozer.
Booze man!
They're busy doing their vows, and you've got to understand that Days Gone takes itself super seriously. Like, this isn't some like self-aware. Some of this stuff is bullshit. Like, every single line it delivers is in like complete sincerity and seriousness.
Yeah.
So they're doing their vows. And one of Sarah's vows is like, you have to promise to ride me as much as you ride your motorcycle. And I was like,
oh wow!
and it's not like it's not like the past in the background's like, that's funny. It's like, it's meant to be this sincere, cute. Deacon even just looks at her like lovingly, not like this chuckle. You're like, are you fucking joking? How is that even? How? Who?
Whoever wrote the lines like,
yeah, exactly. It's like there should have been a Deacon just like, like having like a guilty, sly little laugh. No,
it's just a no.
The writing in this game is poor.
Oh
like,
no!
Yeah.
Look at that. Days Gone. We're done with Days Gone.
Fuck, it killed me. I died laughing. I was nearly on the floor laughing at that. I was just like, this is so ridiculous.
This cannot be.
Yeah. Anyway, that Days Gone.
We've really
ragged on Days Gone for a long time. Do you want to touch on MK?
I'll briefly touch on it. Before that though, finished Claire's campaign. God damn.
Sorry. Claire's campaign.
Finish the song.
No. Mortal Kombat.
There we go. I finished Claire's campaign, Resident Evil 2. I'm not going to talk about it, but great game. I can't wait to play Leon.
I want to hear your thoughts once you finish the second. So now you're playing as Leon.
I'm going to play as Leon. So yeah, I finished that.
Did X give it to you?
He actually didn't kill me.
Jeez, you're really good at video games.
I try.
Damn, he killed me so many times.
No, I freaking ran like a mofo.
He's terrifying though. You just doof, doof, doof.
I'll tell you, the sound design in that game is insane. Where
impeccable.
he sounds like it's so close. I'm like, wait, he's actually like a few corridors over, but I can still hear him marching around.
Have you seen now that you've like seen the game, you need to hunt down the video of someone like hacked the game a bit on PC so they could look at like move the camera freely around to see how Mr. X gets travels, around. Yeah. It's fascinating.
Really?
It really is fascinating. Yeah.
God damn. So yeah, I finished that. And I played a bunch of Mortal Kombat 11 yesterday. Mortal Kombat.
So good.
So we got, when did we get copies? Like last week? We just haven't
we got
really,
it like on launch day.
Yeah, we just, because it launched this week.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Our time, not your time, listeners. That's last week.
Last week, Tuesday, yeah.
You and I just never, I never got around to playing it until last night.
I had that
downloaded
it,
installed
Thursday,
it.
so I also played
you had a week.
I had a week, man.
Jeez, like finishing the game at 2 a.m. and writing a review. Do not envy you. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. I just jumped in to do some story stuff. Did the tutorial.
How's that story?
Mortal Kombat stories are always like
paint me a
ridiculously fun.
Yeah. Have you played the previous two, right?
I didn't play 10 actually. I did read up on what happened though. I just missed it. I don't know why. Because I loved
like 10's story that much.
No,
because I love 9.
9 was cool because it essentially rebooted the franchise and it took you through the core 3, like the OG 3 games.
But changed things here.
Change things, but it was like modern Mortal Kombat taking you through those old levels you remember playing as a kid or teenage or whatever. Really good. And then 10 came out, I just never got it for some reason.
Yeah.
But the story is the same as you'd expect. It's like stuff happens, there's exposition, then it's like, hey man, you can't do that, whatever. Let's fight. And it's you fighting some random dude.
Is it the big bad is like, what's her name? Chronica?
Yeah. So
what's her motive?
I've played 2 hours and my understanding is that she's just always been around.
Okay.
Raiden. So at the end of the last game, something happened that Raiden got hold of the amulet. I can't remember
from a god. Forgot his name now.
So
that dude.
Raiden basically went super
Shinnok.
Shinnok. He went super dark and he's like, we need to sort of nip these things in the bud. Let's like sort of destroy the other realms before they start wars with
Oh
us,
shit!
sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah. So Raiden's like
Is he like bad Superman?
he's like I suppose you can call him bad Superman. He's got red lightning.
Oh, he's 100% bad.
So
Superman.
Chronica is basically like Raiden is effed up enough shit, which he does because Raiden is a dude who's like always like saving Earth.
Yeah, he's a bit of an
Realm and
asshole. I don't like.
I mean,
Raiden.
he's not an asshole for saving
He's
Earth
an
Realm,
idiot.
but he's always getting involved, and she's eventually like, you know what? I ain't got time for this guy. I'm just gonna reset history. I'm gonna delete him out of history. So that's the whole
She's
premise for the
actually the good
game. Well, we don't know. So the whole thing is she's like, I can erase Raiden out of history, but
Nice.
I need help to do it. So
Can I back her?
you can back her if you really want to. So it's weird because then what she does is she basically brings people back from the past. So that's how you get the funny interactions
Like
between
the
like
Johnny
young
Cage versus
Johnny
Johnny Cage.
Cage with modern Johnny
So
Cage.
she brings them back. I
She
thought they
brings them
travel back in time.
No. So she basically brings. I'm still trying to figure out how it happened, but basically time collides and young people appear in present day. Okay, which makes
What
for
about
some
the zombie characters? Does she do that?
the zombie like Liu Kang
Because
and
there's like I was going through the roster because I haven't played the story, and there's like 4 or 5 zombie characters like Liu Kang and Kung Lao
so
and Jade.
my
and-
understanding is that like Liu Kang and Kitana are now the leaders of. Is it the Nether Realm? Basically,
That's
like hell. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Nether
they like the leaders there. They basically zombies.
Who brought them back? Quan Chi?
No, I imagine. I mean, I don't know. I missed 10. There's a gap in my history, but
Yeah,
they
I totally forgot what happened.
they ruling that realm. But then it's funny because so younger versions of them are brought into the fold by Chronica as well. I don't know why she brings them back. To be honest, I don't know if it's things she can't control, but it's like she brings back younger versions of bad guys to help her, but at the same time, there are younger versions of the good guys. So it makes
and
for
the younger
some
versions of the good guys and the younger versions of the bad guys fight each other.
Yeah, well, throughout the story,
Oh
there's
my God.
interactions, but
What a mess.
that's what I'm saying. It's Mortal Kombat. It's,
Yeah.
You know it's going to be ridiculous, but it's still fun to watch because
Oh, yeah.
you literally sit and you watch like 5 minutes of cinematics. Like some of
this
them
is
are really
ridiculous.
cool. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. You fight for a minute or two. You watch 5 minutes of cinematics. You fight for a minute or two. Watch another 5 minutes, and that's rinse repeat for.
I've heard very good things about this story.
Yeah, it's interesting because then like to give you an example, you have young Liu Kang and young Kung Lao come back, and they're like,
They're cool.
yeah, we serve Lord Raiden. He'll never lead us down the wrong path.
Oh boy,
and then like
man.
the dead versions of them like, Raiden effed us over. Look at us. Like if you follow him, this is going to happen to you. And they're like, no.
Oh,
like,
the dead versions are self-aware that they're dead.
yeah, because they're alive.
Oh my God,
They're
this is
just
so
like,
weird.
We followed Raiden down this path, and look what happened to us. And the young version's like, Lord Raiden would never do this to us. And it's just interesting because it creates interactions like that.
Do you think you'd believe your future self if it came back and said,
Well,
"Don't do
every
this"?
single person that has seen their future versions be like, nah, fam.
That's like a real
there's-
trope in
there's-
like time traveling stories. It's like I'm not going to believe myself. It's like
Yeah, even
fuck is wrong
so
with you?
even young Raiden comes back, and people are like, yeah, you turned out to be a dick. And then even Kotal Khan's like, Raiden, you became an asshole. And then Raiden's like, I assure you, I'm not that person.
Oh
It's
my
like,
goodness.
but you became that person.
Did you know Kotal Khan is Shah Khan's son? I did not know that.
I figured. I mean,
I just thought it was a coincidence.
no, because in that realm you get the title of Khan if you're the leader. I didn't realize he was the son though.
I might be wrong. I'm going to look it up.
Look
while
it
you
up.
carry on.
But then, what was I going to say? Yeah, there is that trope of even Jade. She meets her future self is also like dead and a zombie, or whatever. We call them zombies. They're not zombies. They're just like dead, brought back to life. They look like zombies. But her older version's like, yeah, following Katana led me to be this way. And then young Jade's like, well, my friendship means everything, sort of thing. So obviously I'm just going to believe everything she says. It's like, no, man, like, come on. Wait, why are you shaking your head?
Okay, so Kotal Khan is not
Not his son. He's just a dude.
Kotal Khan. Total Khan.
Kotal Khan.
Is a new character in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he was introduced in MKX.
Yeah.
10. He is not a descendant of Shah Khan. He was a general.
was just a general,
under
yeah.
Shah Khan's command, and is of the Osh Tech race.
Oh boy.
He and fellow General Raiko then served under Empress Melina after the death of Shah Khan.
Yes.
Cool. So not related.
Not
But
related.
No, I just thought it was funny because he gets treated like absolute shit in MKX. Like, man, Shah Khan is like a force to be reckoned with. Kotal Khan.
I actually want to go back and play the game just for the story, because why not? But it was
PS Plus a while ago?
no, I would have
might be
grabbed
wrong,
it.
Yeah.
It might come to PS Plus.
That'd
Yeah,
be-
but so anyways, I've only played 2 hours of the story really, but it's proved to be interesting in the way only Mortal Kombat can be like ridiculous but funny. I mean, we all know that I'm at a point now where old Johnny Cage is dealing with young Johnny Cage. And you can see that old Johnny Cage has matured and he's looking at himself being like, oh my God, like this guy is unbelievable. And you have like young Kano looking at old Kano saying, man, I still look good
Oi,
at
mate.
50 years old. They're like,
Oh
oh,
my
man,
God.
no, this game.
So it's self-aware.
It's
kinda
self-aware,
knows.
but
Okay.
it's fun. And
Okay.
I've played only a handful of hours. I'm really enjoying it. Visually, it's great.
Yeah,
Great,
it looks
beautiful looking, 60 FPS.
My goodness.
Yeah.
They keep getting better and better.
Yeah, and
looking,
the
those
fighting is a
games.
lot of fun. I haven't jumped in online at all, but I'm very excited to keep
So
trying some
I've just
stuff.
messed around with the tutorial, and I am blown away by how good that tutorial is. It
The
is
tutorials are great. Yeah.
unbelievably like Mortal Kombat games. I felt have always had pretty decent tutorials,
Hmm.
and even then, when they were decent, they were still better than most other fighting games.
Yeah.
But this is just on a new level.
Yeah.
Like it teaches you basics in a very digestible way and advanced techniques, and then it goes into like real in depth. Like this can teach you how to understand fighting games in a in a way that competitive fighting players do. Like it will teach you about frame animations and why certain attacks take this many frames to execute and why this might be dangerous. And then they've even got like character specific tutorials, so you can pick any character from the roster and it will be like, hey,
I
these
wanna
are some
main this
good
guy,
basic
yeah.
attacks, these are good defenses and good it is just so in depth, and I really appreciate it as someone who's terrible at fighting games.
Yeah. So Mortal Kombat 11 thus far really enjoyable.
We should play.
We're gonna
Who's
play.
your favorite character so far?
I don't know. The thing with this game is that they all feel really good. Like I'm not one to button mash, but because it's a new game and they've mixed up some of the combos. I don't even with Sub-Zero and
some moves are
Scorpion. I'm
very
like I
different,
don't
yeah.
remember pulling the move off that way.
Like Scorpion
So-
Spear works differently now.
You don't pull the persons, you just pull them
unless
and
you
do
press
damage.
R1.
But I've just been button mashing and I've been pulling off combos. And I'm like, that's fun. So I don't have a favorite at the moment.
Okay.
But
I
we'll
always
see.
dig playing a Scorpion. He just I
Yeah,
love
the-
that little teleport.
I think
'cause it feels
the
like a bullshit
OGs are when I actually finish with the story and I go to a character select screen, I probably will lean towards the original Scorpion and Sub-Zero and those people.
move. This was brought up in
Those
another
peoples.
podcast to listen to, but they never really explain how in MK9 Sub-Zero turns into Sub-Zero is two people. His first one, Scorpion kills him, and he turns into Noob Saibot.
Saibot, yeah. And then his
And then
younger
the
brother
second
takes up the
version
mantle.
Takes up the mantle, but then he turns into a cyborg in MK9.
in MK9,
How
yeah.
the fuck is he back to being a human?
I don't know, because I also reached a point in the story where you play Sub-Zero. I was like, okay, but which one are you?
Yeah, 'cause
are
Noob
you
is there.
Are you just another descendant who's
Dude,
taken up the mantle?
Whatever,
Like,
man.
I don't know.
Whatever, man. That's
We don't
Mortal
know.
Kombat.
We don't know. That is Mortal Kombat.
Should we get to game releases?
Ooh, yeah. Let's
I think
fly
it's
through
slowing
games.
down now. I
Game
think.
releases.
I lied.
You think you say that every week?
April's
it's like
been
actually,
busy as fuck.
actually,
Can you believe that next week is May?
it's gonna be May.
It's gonna be
I
May.
took your joke and used it against
Thank
you.
so much.
No, you don't.
So we're looking at games released between the 27th of April and
The fourth,
the third.
third of
3rd
May.
of May. It's going to be May.
3rd of May.
You can't steal it from me.
Can't take my dad joke.
So I'm just going to fly through some that I actually know.
Yeah, just cherry pick the ones you know.
Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age, coming to Xbox One and Switch on April 30th.
Is it coming to Switch?
Yeah.
That is one of the one mainline Final Fantasy game I've never played.
Is that the one on Zeppelins?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The one with the airships and
Is that the one with the stupid laugh?
No, that's 10.
Oh, is that 10?
Ha 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 ha. That's
I've just seen that meme. Starlink Battle for... Wait, huh? Oh, I think this is new content for Starlink. It's coming out on April 30th.
Nice.
Super Crate Box coming to Switch, which is one of Flambeer, the people who made Nuclear Throne and Ridiculous Fishing.
Yeah.
It's one of their earliest games. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Gollum Gates coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. April. It just says April. I don't know. Yeah, if that's
Out sometime.
I like this word, so I'll just say it. Precipice comes to PC on May 1st.
Precipice.
A game I'm actually looking forward to. Close to the Sun.
Ooh.
So Close to the Sun is like a narrative adventure that
About Icarus.
sort of like BioShock, but if Andrew Ryan was Nikola Tesla.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so Nikola Tesla creates this thing, this like city where scientists can continue working unhindered by laws and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's very BioShock.
pretty good.
Speaking of which, where's the next BioShock going to be set?
I think that shit's going to be revealed at E3.
Okay, but we've done underwater, we've done in the sky. Where's the next BioShock? Is it land? Is it space?
In a train tunnel.
Is it? I was thinking underground, but maybe space.
Underground, so like a metro vibe.
I don't know though.
What would space be though? Because it's just like the moon. Well, they've done BioShock in space. It's called Prey.
Yeah, they've done.
It's pretty
good. But think about it. BioShock does this really great thing where it makes you believe that whatever it's doing is possible. Like I believe that Rupture could be a thing, or that Columbus could be an actual fly.
Is it Columbus or Columbia?
Columbia, maybe. I don't know.
Remember.
Where's the next BioShock going to be set?
I wonder if they'll. It's tricky because like. Did you ever play the DLC for Infinite? Like
Yeah,
that thing wraps up that
wrapped
series.
it up.
Like,
But so I don't think it'll be necessarily set in the same world, but they will have to give it an interesting setting because that's part of BioShock. We have this group of people that we're going to take away from laws and put them in the sky or underground.
I feel like in a perfect world we wouldn't get another BioShock by name. We would get another thing because even BioShock itself was a spiritual successor to System Shock.
Yeah.
So like we'd get another quote unquote shock game that's not called BioShock, so it isn't tied to the tropes that BioShock set up.
It's Moonshock, set on the moon. You heard it here first.
Moonshock. I'd play that.
Moonshock.
I'd play that.
Pluto
They
Shock.
should make a racing shock.
Race. Why?
Racing unhindered by
Why you like
laws.
this?
What else? Valhalla coming to PS4 and Switch, but it's not spelled Valhalla. It's VA-11 Hall-A. But
Why?
apparently it's a good game. The Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse. So Swords of Ditto is pretty cool.
We've heard this name. Oh, you've mentioned it before.
Yeah, it looks like a very cartoony, like a Link to the Past Zelda-ish type game.
Oh, that's why I know.
And Mormo's Curse is like is DLC for the game. It's coming to Switch on May 2nd.
Switch.
Oh wait, has it ever been on Switch before? So maybe this is new release as well. I might be wrong.
Who knows?
Rise of Industry coming to PC on 2nd of May. That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, so it was the week after though.
That is
Intense.
Intense.
Yeah, the month of May has got some big hitters. Rage 2, A Plague Tale, which I'm very interested in playing. Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
Nice.
A bunch of Resident Evils coming to Switch.
Ooh.
Ori 4 coming to Switch. Ori HD Remastered to Switch.
Well,
Ori 0.
100% replay Resident Evil 4 on the Switch.
What else coming?
Did you ever play Resident Evil 4?
Oh yeah, I loved
God
Resident
damn,
Evil
it's
4.
so good.
Loved it.
Not at all Resident Evil, but very action and fun.
I loved it. Absolutely
So
adored
good.
it. Yeah.
Lots.
That's
game
Cricket
releases.
2019.
The game I give zero shits about.
Do you want to play a test match of a real simulated 5 days?
No.
Why?
Why
It
not?
can be like a Civilization 5 match, but we're hitting balls.
Balls and throwing balls.
We're playing the gentleman's sport.
The gentleman's sport. Hand me my scone.
I'd eat a scone. What? Scones are awesome. Scones and
they're
jam.
delicious.
It's like, imagine you could make something stale and still sell it as something artisanal.
Scone. Is that what you're getting at?
I mean, it tastes
Basically.
like stale biscuit.
But it's delicious.
It's delicious, yeah, but like someone
jam.
figured out how to market fucking
Stuff.
stale food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Before we carry on, message from our sponsors.
Today's episode of Checkpoint Chat is brought to you by PlayStation South Africa, who have just bought you Days Gone. The new PS4 exclusive sees you fill the shoes of Deek and St. John, a drifter and a bounty hunter who has chosen to face the dangers of the open road, rather than take up residence in any of humanity's scattered and scarce encampments.
Which is absolutely crazy, don't you think? Surviving in numbers is a good thing. Anyway, Deacon's previous life as an outlaw has given him an edge as well. Besides knowing his way around all manners of weapons and knowing how to craft all kinds of handy tools, he has a chopper up his sleeve. We're not talking about a helicopter here because they'll just be ridiculous, but a good old-fashioned Harley Davidson?
I don't know what it is. It's a bike.
It's a bike.
Anyways, it's big, it's loud, and it allows Deacon to quickly maneuver his way through the barren and beautiful Oregon, which is filled to the brim with bad people and freakers. The latter enemies aren't your conventional slow-moving flesh eaters. No, they'll run at you alone, in pairs, in packs, and even in hundreds, which is quite terrifying to say the least. If surviving that kind of danger sounds like your jam, then Days Gone is definitely for you. Grab a copy from your favorite retailer today, or stay tuned and keep an eye on our social platforms because we are going to be giving a copy away.
And we're back.
Right, I need to look at the time.
Oh, shit, I'm not...
Yeah.
Awkward.
Okay, there we go. You got it.
Did you timestamp for me? Making my
did.
editing better. We've told you, it's all downhill from here.
No, it's all downhill.
It's all downhill from here. Should we get to news?
Yes.
News.
What news?
Imagine I had all of this prepared.
Imagine being prepared after 51 episodes. I just realized I didn't send you a gift this morning because I arrived and you're already at the gate waiting for me.
I missed my gift.
I'll find you one right now.
BlizzCon 2019 is coming.
Shocker.
Statues, pre-drinks, and a banquet.
Wow.
Kinda.
I wonder what they're going to show at this year's BlizzCon.
What's the statue? I've been hearing things.
Fangs.
Oh man, that is cool. It's a commemorative statue from Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
But in that style as well. Ooh, I like that a lot. But yeah, BlizzCon is happening later this year. BlizzCon passes will be like $230 for the cheapest one.
How much?
$230.
That's so much.
The most expensive is a $750 ticket, which gets you basically everything and a special charity dinner where you mingle with Blizzard's directors, artists, and designers, which is kind of weird because I imagine a lot of those people are very socially awkward.
Yeah,
Like
and also it's like...
I mean, I work in software development space, and a lot of those people, not that type of people.
Just look at your watch because I sent you a gift.
I hate you.
That's the best gift.
How do you get these statues?
Can I just tell you?
Okay, no. Yeah, you get the statues if you buy the $750 tickets.
Oh.
So you only get to choose one.
Oh.
So you either get the human or the orc.
Why not both? $1,500. I mean, what's a cool 22,000 rand
for a ticket? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, for just the core ticket. If you're buying both, though. What I was going to say though is that out of all the conferences I've been to, BlizzCon's still my favorite by far.
Oh yeah, you went.
If you're a
4 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
You went
now.
to BlizzCon before E3.
I did. Let me tell you, you can. If you're a Blizzard fan, you can feel the Blizzard love in the air. It's really, really great. If you're a big enough fan, would recommend attending BlizzCon. But it's expensive. So
it's a weird time now because Blizzard's in a weird space.
Yeah, Blizzard is in a weird space now. So maybe during the heyday when Overwatch had just launched.
Diablo 4 this year?
Shit, I don't know.
Do you have a smartphone?
I don't know what they're going to do this year because last year was fun. And then they were like, haha, new Diablo.
It's on mobile.
For phones, which is fun.
Yeah,
I have
I'll
no
play
issue with
that
it. But just as like, do you not have a smartphone? It's just
yeah, man. The
just
kind of vitriol from fans was kind of shitty.
Yeah,
I didn't like during the Q&A. It was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. But yeah.
News.
Persona 5S. What do you think it is?
It's a Switch port.
You're right.
No,
Sort of. Half.
sort of half.
Kind of.
Half points.
Not really.
50%.
Take out port.
Oh, it's a Switch. Persona 5S is a Switch. It's a
Yes.
limited edition Switch.
Okay.
No.
Take out. Okay.
Switch.
Persona 5S isn't at all what you think it is.
No, what is?
Persona 5 Switch isn't a port coming to the Switch, but it is a game coming to the Switch.
Oh.
It's a Muso game. So if you don't know what Muso games are,
It's Muso fun. No, I'm kidding.
Fuck off. I'm out of here.
You want your
Goodbye.
money back.
What a great podcast.
Sweet.
We had a good run.
I just scored a free room.
So like Dynasty Warriors and
so it's
Hyrule Warriors and anything with Warriors appended
basically
at the end.
a beat 'em up with millions of
Enemies on screen.
yeah.
Which kind of looks pretty great in the Persona style because Persona's got really good like effects and a good UI and just a sense of style. So It looks good, but I'm not a huge fan of these types of games. So
Mm.
I was disappointed because I thought it'd be a port.
Oh.
Especially because Persona 5 The Royal was also announced this week,
No.
which is a brand new, like, a brand new package for PS4.
I was just going to say, you can't say, I thought you'd say a brand new game. No, it's not a
Totally
brand
not a brand. So Persona does this a lot. You had Persona 3 and Persona Fez. You had Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden. So now you've got the Royal for Persona 5, which is adding a new character.
Yeah, base game plus.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have a new character that will be able to join your party. There'll be new areas and also new confidants, which are like characters that don't join your party, but you develop social links with.
Confidant.
So a lot of cool content that if you haven't played Persona 5 yet is probably that's the one you should be playing. I don't know if I have it in me to play another 120 hours, although I really want to because
You can dig deep. Dig deep. You love Persona.
So yeah.
What other news do we have?
NetherRealm is working on updating their in-game currency economy because it's kind of
Apparently it's
garbage.
trash.
Yeah.
I actually haven't even looked at that at all.
I haven't really got there yet. So
But apparently it's actual trash.
yeah, and apparently the crypt is pretty bad because they've turned it into some kind of like loot boxes.
No. Why?
Titanfall, remember that?
Yes.
You're not going to get much for a while.
Boo.
So even though Respawn was basically like, we'll still do Titanfall stuff, they are slowing down their cadence on updates for Apex Legends purely because they don't want their developers to burn out.
Yeah.
I guess in the same week where there was a pretty fiery report on how Fortnite's developers are in like a constant endless cycle of crunch because, hey, those magical patches that keep coming
Those
out
magical
aren't made
seasons.
by fairies, you know.
And remember, we've touched on it in the past, that every season, well, not even every season, just every week or every handful of weeks, there's always something new coming to Fortnite.
And
that shit ain't
kind
just
of the problem
magic.
because we look at Apex and I'm like, man, really wish it had the kind of like cadence that Fortnite has. But then at the same time, it's like, it's not worth it if people are like fucking dying. Yeah.
Although they did announce something this week or put a tweet or something out saying that they're going to reveal season 2 soon, I think.
I think they said it's going to be like a seasonal thing. So it's like every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and they've said that they've taken all the feedback to heart, and they did say, what's the map called? King's Canyon? I think it's King's...
I want to say King's Landing, but it's
King's Landing. Boom, boom.
I think it is King's
Now
Landing.
this tune's in your head. You're welcome.
I love it, though. It's so good.
No, they
I
said
think it's King Canyon,
King's... Now I've got King's Landing in...
Whatever, it's King something.
Now they've said you didn't think the map would stay the same.
Okay.
Which
So
is
they're gonna change
what Fortnite does. It's
Yeah.
the same map, they just tweak it. So Apex, Peeps,
So they're
Respawn,
basically
gonna...
they're focusing on that, and they're focusing on their new Star Wars game. So
Yes.
Titanfall's on the back burner for now. Not gone, but they've basically said it's not gonna. There's not gonna be something new for a while.
Titanfall dead. Push F on your keyboard. It'll come back.
Devil May
Oh,
Cry.
look at that header.
It's so
It's so good. Does Darren still listen?
He does.
He does. Darren, your header of who's that from Devil May Cry?
Dante.
with the
The
Dawson.
sad
It's
Dawson.
so good.
There's no more Devil May Cry 5 content. Development basically wrapped up. They said it's done. Which got Darren really sad because he was hoping that they would put in like a chapter for Virgil.
So that header is basically a representation
It's
of him.
Darren. it's sad,
That's
Darren.
so good. That Photoshop, man.
Overwatch got probably the most exciting updates it's gotten in the past 2 years this week. There's a new workshop mode that is letting players create custom game modes.
And a colleague of mine was saying that I thought it was just going to be a PC thing. Apparently, it's available on console as well.
Yeah, it's just like a creator suite. Yeah.
That's still
Apparently,
cool.
there's already a mode which you can play, which is like Fortnite. Overwatch Battle Royale.
100 Hanzos land on an island.
Well, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So that's pretty
cool.
cool. I'm curious to see what comes out of that because I feel like the hype around Overwatch is
It's
like,
dead.
Yeah, it's boiled
Not
to a
dead, but it's got
simmer,
its
like-
core audience.
Yeah.
And besides that, some of the base games we have today or in existence have been mod spawned from other games. So let's see if the next big battle royale thing, Mabab, comes out of that.
Days Gone is getting a survival mode. and some weekly challenges in June.
Did you read what that patch entails?
It's
this
like
survival
making the
mode.
game harder.
It takes away
takes away that detective vision.
It takes away detective vision, takes away like map icons. I'm like, why would you want to play like like I get it, survival mode, but oh my god.
Takes away the HUD.
You're gonna turn
I hate that an immersive HUD is only part of this mode. Like there were parts where I was like, I just want to turn off the HUD.
Oh yeah. That's the thing you should be able to turn on off.
Yeah.
But man, the game already is long. Can you imagine playing it that way?
Fuck no.
Yo.
No. I'm fine.
No.
I'm good.
game.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best-selling game of the year. Can you believe it?
So of the year.
So far, I honestly
Wow,
would have not have guessed
I
that.
also would not have guessed that.
I mean, I know the game's big, but the bestseller of the
Kingdom
year,
Hearts 3.
especially when you have releases like The Division that came out as well.
yeah.
Like,
The Division, you
Curious.
have what? Oh, you had Resident Evil 2. What other big hitters did we have this year? Anthem. I mean,
oh boy.
Anthem didn't sell that well.
Speaking of Anthem, oh my god.
Oh wow, that is quite a Paw Patrol we have marching.
two Paw
Okay,
Patrols.
they've left.
One day I'll learn how to close my door before
One
we
day.
record. So Anthem's a train wreck.
Is it dead?
Yeah. It's all of its
That is a good segue because I did not at all see that headed for the next article.
all of its upcoming features, basically the roadmap that they released at launch, been put on indefinite hold.
Who did
The
that
same with
header?
patches. Darren. Of course he did.
It's just a roadmap with a big lol written over it.
So it's like their big things, like the big Cataclysm, which was like a big world-changing event.
That is
all
so
their
funny.
updates, like gone. Like their first act of their like DLC rollout is dead. In the
Dead.
water
It's
for
dead,
now.
Jim.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they are trying to find a way to like almost like soft reboot the game very quickly, but oh boy, it's a mess at the moment.
It is hectic. Was it any like big news this week? Because nothing actually
The
comes to
Samsung
mind.
Galaxy Fold got delayed. That's a really good header as well, Jeff.
Oh wow.
That's real good. After that phone started getting
Wow.
basically dying on like within 24 hours of reviewers getting hold of it, Samsung realized that, hey, maybe this thing's garbage.
Yeah.
And they've
yeah.
indefinitely delayed
So,
the release of this
I know
phone.
it's not all gaming news, but what is happening? They're getting dead pixels. They're taking off the protective layer, which they think
there's
is
this
a
thing like there's this thing. So the teardown website or repair website, iFixit, who are really good at like they take the biggest tech things and they take it apart to show like, hey, this is actually built really well. This is how repairable it will be. So they did a teardown on the Fold, which they've actually taken offline on at the request of Samsung.
wow.
They basically called it shockingly. What was their exact quote? Because it's actually like pretty damning.
Please enjoy the sounds of the barking dogs while we we find this quote.
iFixit.
Bluff.
Bluff. Yes. The quote is just really good because like I've never seen iFixit say anything
Bad.
that damning.
Oh, look, is that it? Oh no, that's them pulling the quotes. Where's that their quote?
I don't know.
That is damning.
Yeah, at the worst, it was basically like this is like
Actual garbage.
yeah, shockingly fragile or something like that. So basically, when you fold the phone, there's a little gap that opens like on the fold.
Yeah.
Where like fucking anything can get in there. Like you put it in your pocket, little specks of dust, little lint can just get in under the screen.
There's that 50 rand notes I forgot I had.
And then when
My
that's under
phone.
the screen, it can just break the screen.
Oh.
Then there's also that protective film layer that was like being pulled off because people thought it was a screen protector. But like Samsung's like, no, that you can't pull that off. But some reviewers are saying that it started, like kind of peeling off by itself. Like when your screen protector like bubbles and it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't blame people because I was thinking about it. I was like, why would you peel it off? And I thought, you know what, I'm
That's
that
not the
person.
first thing you do.
Because but you do get people who leave the built-in out of the box protector on, like make the phone last as long as you can. But I'm the person who immediately is like, I don't need this, pull it off. I would have been the dude pulling off the protector on that phone.
So there's lots of that. Like, it was just failing. Like, I heard the most bizarre thing. Jeff Backlar, who guests on the Giant Beastcast, he works at CNET, and he was saying Samsung packaged this thing in such a sly way because when you open the box, it's unfolded. So it's at its biggest, right? And the screen looks seamless. There's no crease.
Yeah.
When you close it the first time, it creates the crease.
Oh, no.
And that is god awful. Like, imagine like, oh, this thing's great. You
so
close it
nice.
once, you're like, what just happened?
Want my money back. Oh.
Christ.
Okay, not
$2,000.
Not at all gaming related, but worth talking about nonetheless. Because imagine gaming on a device like that one day. Yeah.
$2,000.
No, not to.
Their creases.
No, let's.
And as it creases, lets in all your pocket fluff.
Okay, it costs $2,000. How much does the Xbox One X cost? $500.
Get an
quarter
Xbox
of the
One
price.
Yeah. That's news.
Is that news? Oh,
let's fly.
What time are we on there?
Oh my God, 1:18.
Oh, we're actually fine. I thought because we ended up talking about games way longer than we should have. But you know what? 2 big games worth talking about.
Big games, and I still want to talk more about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that next week.
If you want to send in questions to Checkpoint Chat, you can tweet at us on Twitter at Checkpoint Chat, DM us, reply to Maddie's great posts.
I'm trying to get better, guys.
You can message us on Facebook, facebook.com/checkpointchat. Follow us there. Or you can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com, just like Zane did. He reset the counter. Reset that counter. It's at 0 days.
So should we start with...
No, I'm starting with Zane.
Okay, let's start with Zane. Whoa, I'm in the wrong email address here. Okay,
I've got them here.
I've got them right here.
Well, fine, go.
He says, hey guys, let's reset that counter once more. My questions relate to preferences. Number 1, whispers or tumbles?
Oh, it depends because there's variations of each.
Here's a curveball. Chuckles.
Chuckles. Oh, like tumbles are the ones with shortcake in them, right?
Yes, but I think...
What are the ones with raisins in them? Well, not raisins, like jelly or whatever.
That is a good question. Oh, you know what? So here's another curveball. Have you tried? Woolies has these lint balls that are chocolate, but they have like a jelly inside that's either like blueberry flavored or raspberry flavored.
Ew, that sounds nasty. That legitimately sounds disgusting.
It's delicious though.
Is it like a chuckle with the center?
Yeah, it is so good. So I don't know, Zane. Okay, if I had to choose between whispers or tumbles, probably whispers.
I think I'd go whispers, yeah.
And my only reasoning is that I know my mom loves whispers and she has an affinity for them. So over the years, I've always had access every now and then to some whispers.
I like the thick layer of chocolate you get around the whisper. It's like pretty thick and it's just satisfying to eat.
So good. But if I had to choose Chuckles, red packet of Chuckles.
Yeah, Chuckles are fun.
Really
there
good.
are people that say Woolies chocolate is gross. You're just wrong.
Those people are just
Chuckles
wrong.
Are fucking
there are
awesome.
2 kinds of people in the world. People who are right and people who are
only
wrong.
the regular chocolates. Like the regular...
Yeah, just the straight up red ones. But honestly, if I ever see a packet of those lint chocks again, I'm going to bring you one because they are actually
for me.
delicious. Okay, number 2, chocolate or strawberry Nesquik?
Fuck, that's a hard question.
That is actually very... Because then when I read it, I was like, chocolate. But I was like,
oh, it's so
strawberry
hard.
is so good.
So, okay, I don't think my answer changes, but at least I know that if it's hot, never strawberry. Hot strawberry Nesquik does not do it for me. Like that
of course,
a chocolate
hot is never strawberry. Have you ever? Who says with a straight face, "I'm going to make myself a mug of hot strawberry"?
I mean,
exactly. Hot chocolate
people...
works. Who are those people? They must be unfriended immediately.
They're wrong. Yeah, no, hot. But man, when it's
I just know at the back of my head, back of your head, you probably go, "Oh, I shouldn't tell me about that one time." I tried hot.
Listen, I've tried
strawberry.
hot Nesquik cream soda before. That's
Why?
Not good.
Why are we even friends? This is
when it's cold, oh man, because Nesquik in cold milk is like the best thing. I friggin' love it.
Shit, that is a hard one.
To me, it depends on the day, really. Like, okay, so I will say that strawberry is like extremely sweet. So it's like you really have to want that sweetness there. Whereas the chocolate is like a good chocolatey drink.
If I held a gun to your head, you have to choose immediately.
Like right now.
Chocolate. Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate.
Where did this gun come from?
That's just the OG. It's good. I freaking love both, but I think chocolate.
Yeah, let's go chocolate. And finally,
this is the easiest one.
Burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers. Any day.
Of course it's burgers.
Any day of the week.
Who would choose a hot dog over a burger?
You know what I think? I think it's easy because hot dogs in South Africa suck.
You're right. In the States, they have like proper gourmet hot dogs.
I've had proper good hot dogs there.
Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, again, curveball. Like, it makes me think of a Wors roll. Where
Okay, Wors rolls are good.
Wors rolls can be, like, if you put fried onion on a good Wors roll, okay, it's good. But a standard hot dog, I'm like, we don't really have a good selection
like a sausage
here.
saloon thing? Nah.
I mean, look, no, sausage saloon, like, I've had my fair share of sausage saloon, and like the cheese griller is okay. You know, like, it's nothing.
Anything with cheese in it is okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You bite into it, you got some nice warm cheese, like, that's good. You go to the States and they have like proper gourmet stuff. Maybe then we could talk. But in South Africa, burger.
I had a chicken cheese griller from Sausage Saloon. I thought I was going to vomit. It was fucking disgusting.
From the man who bought you warmed up cream soda Nesquik.
Shut up.
Comes a Sausage Saloon vomit.
There's this thing at E3, just outside the LA Convention Center. There's always these like little like food, like, you know, like little ice cream carts, but they're for hot dogs. And they make, or I don't know if I'd call it a hot dog because the sausage is like really thick and it's more like, it's different. It's not like a Vienna or whatever.
Yeah.
But they have like grilled peppers and grilled onions and fucking just drench that shit in mustard. Oh my God.
Hot damn.
So good. And
Delicious.
It's way cheaper than any of the food actually within E3 because that shit is so expensive.
It's expensive, man.
But yeah, burgers any day. What's your favorite burger? I think the ones we had in Madeira are some of my favorite I've ever had.
Yeah, that place is honestly fantastic. They make really good burgers. But if you're not in Madeira, you're in South Africa.
Locally, I've had a lot of good fortune with Rocamamas.
Yeah, I was going to say Rocamamas is still probably the best balance of, it's almost like a fancy burger, but it's affordable.
Yeah, I think they strike that balance the best.
Because, I mean, you can go to places and like, here's this gourmet burger. It'll cost you 120 Rand. You're like, ooh, that's quite expensive for a burger. Rocamamas is like, here's this really good burger. You can add a bunch of toppings. You'll pay 60, 70, 80 Rand, depending what you want. I mean, add in some fries and, that's good.
I think they're the best balance, and I'm partial to that new shack sauce they have. It's pretty good.
Let's just give a shout out to BGR in
good.
Keys Art Mile in Rosebank. Yeah. They do, for starters, which is an instant win in my book, bottomless lemonade.
Yeah, and their lemonade's good.
And lemonade's good, and their burgers are
They
fantastic.
got waffle fries.
They got waffle fries. Waffle fries.
Their burgers are the closest thing to In-N-Out. Yeah, and I love In-N-Out. So.
In-N-Out is divine.
So, yeah.
Okay, we have...
Thanks for resetting
thank you. Zane. Yeah, thank you, Zane. And we have 4 million questions over on Twitter from Meg. So I don't know how many we're going to get through, but we'll try.
Hooray.
A bunch. Because some of them I just saw actually like comments or just quick acknowledgements. So like the first tweet is a photo of a PlayStation 2 copy of Space Channel 5. What is this? I've never seen that game in my life.
No, but look at the polygons in that
Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's go back to the bottom here. So he says, since we all know you guys are Princesa fanboys, have you checked out their competitors such as Belay, Bainball, or Rio Doro?
I've only heard of... I've never been to Belay. I've seen it, but
Rio Doro, I don't think I've actually eaten there, but I know of it because my mom has been... Is Rio Doro that bakery?
It might be.
Or that
the one in Midrand?
No, I don't know. I will have to do my research, but I recognize the name. Rio Doro, I think that's... I envision that's a place, and this is going to sound weird, where my family goes to buy fish specifically.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be wrong, because if my mom makes bacalhau, that's where she goes to buy the bacalhau. I think it's in the south. I could be wrong. Belay... I haven't been to Belay here for years. They used to be pretty big a few years ago.
I haven't been there for years either.
They were. I remember going to one in Park Meadows, which was fine, but I've never thought of Belay as like, wow, best bakery.
Bainball is good.
Bainball is really good. Honestly,
they've got a chicken francesinha, which is fucking awesome.
Which is no longer on the menu.
What?
Sorry to tell you. Yeah, not there anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it just didn't sell well enough.
They do the traditional Portuguese chips though, where it's like circles but very thinly sliced.
It's good. God. Yeah, their food's really good. And here's a fun fact with Bainball: if you go every 20th of the month, so to
you
20
get like
at the
a Prego for $20,
yeah,
isn't it?
Prego and shit for 20 rand.
Oh, and you
Or
get like
you can get 2 natas and a yes. This is Lenska rubbing off on me saying natas. You get 2 pistage nata for and a coffee for $20 as well.
What a deal.
So you can go there for $40, have a Prego, 2 pistage nata and a coffee for 40
there are
rand.
people that say that
so good.
Bane Bombs pistage are better than Princesa, and I'd just like to unequivocally say that they're wrong.
I don't know.
Get out of my house.
I have to contest
Get
with
the
you there
fuck out of
because
my
you know
house.
what? Maybe we should do one day. We'll
Like
go
a blind test.
We'll go to Princesa. Oh, maybe we should do a blind test. That's
Yeah.
even better. Okay, we'll do a blind test where we'll bring you a pistage from both, and you tell me which one's better. Because although Princesa is great, and I love Princesa, Bane Ball does a freaking great pistage.
Oh no, that like the pistage is good, but
It's so
Princesa
good.
is the OG.
Princesas I found are almost too crispy. Like it's more crisp than it is pastry.
I think sometimes you do get the batches that are
Where it's like you bite into it's like and it's like it's nice, but it's just too crunchy.
You know, you can get those ones in like those black boxes that are basically imported from
Why would you do
Portugal.
that?
I know, I don't understand that.
You can buy those at the airport. They're like, take pistage home for your family. I'm like, but they're not freshly baked. That box has been here for like 6 months
Yeah,
probably.
no, fuck that shit, man.
But
preservatives
so
in there to keep it.
that's a great question though, Megs, because so my mom's overseas now. And when I was living with her, Princesa's literally down the road from us. We would go to Princesa all the time. But then Bane Ball came into the picture, and it honestly was a thing of, do we go to Princesa or Bane Ball? And it was a hard choice because they're both really good. So I don't know which one to choose. Princesa's good. Yeah, okay, fine. You win. Princesa's the OG. Okay, Meg says, thanks for your advice, Alessandro. I ended up selling my copy of Persona 5.
I didn't really give advice. I told them not to sell it.
But is this because there's a enhanced
Yeah,
version
basically, I was
coming?
like, we should probably wait for more information to see, because maybe they'll offer a thing like, hey, pay $10 and get all their content in normal Persona. I don't know if they'll do that.
Goddamn.
Probably not, but
No.
whatever, man. It's cool. If you want to play just the Royal Edition, I honestly, that's probably the way to go. If you haven't played Persona 5 already, I might as well wait,
Yeah.
because it's coming to Western Shores next year.
2020.
Yeah.
Aha. Matthew, are there any kinds of games that Lenska absolutely, absolutely cannot play, such as horror gore games? Lenska is the very definition of a sensitive viewer.
Oh, okay.
So any game that involves, horrors are straight up out because
Mortal
obvious
Kombat must
reasons.
be going down super well.
She was sleeping while I was playing. I do want to show it to her because the story is just funny.
I
but
just want to see the fatalities and her reactions.
oh no,
Please
she won't.
film
She
that.
won't like them. She'll be like,
Please
"What?
film
What is going?"
Like Cabal's one where you slice a dude in half.
Why? Some of them, I'm like,
Some of them are
why?
ridiculous. But the thing is, they're also like, again, they're like so over the top that you can't help but go, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, she's honestly the definition of a sensitive viewer. So anything you imagine that would upset someone or make them feel uneasy or uncomfortable, Lenska
So
wouldn't
Resident
play
Evil,
that.
not a
She
thing.
didn't watch me play that at all
Okay.
either. But I don't think she'd want to.
Does that
watch me
extend
play.
to like films as well?
Films? Yeah, as well.
Okay.
Horror films are generally not a
Okay.
thing. Yeah, like she watched the first episode of Haunting of Hill House. She was like, I'm out.
Oh, she did. Yeah, I
Like
remember.
I actually kind of watch this because the thing is that she'll climb into bed and not switch off. She'll just think about it, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
So you
interesting.
could maybe get away with watching or playing something during the day.
Anything that robs me of sleep is a no-go for me.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean I think you can relate because there are things sometimes that maybe you can't switch off.
Oh, yeah,
or-
100%.
Not necessarily
Yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of the actual
Yeah,
content,
it's
but
called Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Since the both of you are rookie platinum achievement hunters, what is your proudest game?
That was like the most passive-aggressive
That is the
compliment
most passive aggressive shade I've seen in my
ever.
life.
Yeah, Jesus.
My proudest is probably, I mean,
I think I've only got 3. So.
I've platinum Final Fantasy, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's those 3, and God of War is probably my best one because, first of all, it wasn't like a time-consuming or ridiculous platinum. In fact, all 3 of those games, the only reason I platinum them was because I didn't have to do like stupid stuff.
I will contest that on God of War, but okay.
Yeah, okay, but God of War
Those fucking Ravens sucked.
God of War. Yeah, the Ravens were.
They sucked.
But God of War generally was my favorite because one of the things you had to do is beat all the Valkyries, which isn't
That's a
small,
good challenge, yeah.
a small
That's a good
feat. And
challenge.
there's no
And you had to beat Muspelheim,
Yeah.
the combat thing.
and
yeah.
there's no trophy tied to difficulty. You could do all of the trophies on easy, but
That's cool.
I played the game on hard, and I finished everything on hard. Which
I
I'm
remember
quite
you
proud of.
starting the game on hard. I was like, you're a madman. This game is pretty hard.
And I think there's a difficulty above that, which I was
There
like,
is,
okay,
yeah,
no,
nightmare or
that's
whatever.
maybe too much for me. But I did everything, Muspelheim, all the Valkyries on hard. And
Muspelheim is where I tapped out because there were just some.
there was some there that are...
Yeah. Like kill these things without taking damage. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
that was a hard one.
Goodbye.
Oh my God, that was so hard.
Screw this game. I'm out. Like,
Yeah, that's probably my
I think my
proudest.
favorite was Final Fantasy 15 just because it was my first.
Yeah.
And because that game, I enjoyed that game way more than I thought I would. Even though I recognize there are issues with
Yeah,
the game.
problems, but it was still a fun
Like,
ride.
it is repetitive as fuck and like there are issues, but I just adored it. I think that the big tortoise fight at the end is bullshit.
That's like an hour.
It took me 3 hours. Bullshit.
That's 3 hours of you like holding a button, locking on.
Just holding a button and
Just
making sure I
that.
don't die. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's
that
was a
fight
thing.
sucked. I hated that fight.
Yeah,
Adamantoise or whatever. it's called.
Adamantoise, yeah. But Final Fantasy though, one of those games where it's like there are problems, but it's one of those games I tell you, like The Last Guardian, there are problems, but it's 100% worth stomaching the 10 hours or the 30 hours.
Oh yeah.
Just for that one cutscene at the end, because
Oh man,
so good,
It broke me.
Yeah,
It was
really, really.
It
good.
was just real good.
That part of the game was like it was worth it.
Yeah. No,
for
it
this
was
one
there
month.
was something about just those four guys like hanging out. That's kind of why I hated the second half of that game because it's like, cool. Remember that there's a main story here. We're going to lock you into that. And I was just like, I could not give a shit about that story. But the Ghoul road trip beforehand, loved it.
So good.
What a good time. Yeah.
Okay, should we do one or two more questions?
Yeah.
Next one. Did Matthew bring pistachio nuts to celebrate episode 51?
He didn't.
Let me just check. No, he didn't. He regrets it immediately.
Asshole.
What are your thoughts on anime? Any current favorites, or you ignore that Japanese Asian stuff that is permanently marked as crap in your mind? No.
No ways. I dig it.
I don't mark it as crap, but I mean, I haven't watched anime for years. When I did though, I watched Naruto, I watched Bleach.
Oh, you
watched
actually
some of the-
watched those? Okay.
Yeah, I love Naruto. I watched that whole first part or season, whatever you want to call it, before they like moved
There's
this
so
way.
many.
I know, but it was so minus the filler. The rest of it is really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, but I don't mark any of it as crap. It's a thing of time, honestly. If I had infinite time, I'd do many things. I think we all would.
I like the ones that are a bit more limited, just because again the time investment thing. So I really the ones I really started watching were like Death Note. When everyone was shitting on that Netflix adaptation, I was like, should probably watch the original. That shit was good. That shit was real
Goddamn.
good. Death Note was good. I'm watching One Punch Man currently. It's really
One
good.
Punch Man, I think, is something
It
I
is
should watch.
So fun. Like it is.
How many episodes in a season? Is it short? Or is
The
it
first season was only like 10. I think.
Oh,
yeah.
you can stomach that.
Yeah, and the second season's busy airing now, so it's so self-aware of how ridiculous it is. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
Goddamn.
And then I love the campy as hell, completely ridiculous, stupidly long Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
Shit's good. I've rewatched that thing about 3 times.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
There's Dragon Ball Z Kai now where they take out a lot of the filler, even though it doesn't feel like it. But man, I'm busy watching Super now, and it's so good. It's just
Goddamn.
everyone's kind of realized that Goku is a complete dumbass and a dumbass and a dangerous asshole at the same time.
Wow.
So it's real fun. It's real fun. There's an episode in Super in the second episode where there's a moment in Dragon Ball Z like ages before where Trunks is crying and Vegeta, to get him to stop crying, says, "I'll take you to a theme park," and they deliver on that. So it's a whole episode of Baby Trunks, Bulma, and Vegeta at a theme park. And there's this
You're like, what?
there's this shot of them on like one of those like trains.
Oh, yeah?
And it's Trunks and Bulma like going, "Hey, this is great," and Vegeta just sitting there like cross-armed. It is so funny. It is so good.
I
love it so much.
appreciate that.
Dad Vegeta is the best Vegeta.
Dad,
So good.
Vegeta. Okay, let's do this as a last question. What is your special day that you do all that you can to free it up so that you have options to do almost anything? For me, that day is today. Happy Freedom Mig Special Day.
Oh, that's cool.
Today's Freedom. Today's a
Yeah, we're
public
losing
holiday.
it on a public holiday. 'cause
I
it's
actually
Saturday.
Happy Freedom Day.
Happy
To
Freedom
South
Day.
Africa and everyone. What a day. Pity it's on a
Happy
Saturday.
Independence Day for South Africa.
Why is it on a Saturday? We
Yeah,
lose
no.
out.
Wang. And now we have 2 weeks where we have public holidays on
I mean,
Wednesdays.
2 short
The
weeks.
worst.
Our life is so hard.
No, I hate public holidays on Wednesdays.
On Wednesday, yeah. It just cuts
Suck.
up the week. Hey, it's a
Um,
day off. Be grateful.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have a specific date where I try aim that for. I just like every Saturday I'm like, oh, it would be great if I had nothing
Listen,
to do today.
every weekend I'm like, this is the weekend I'll do nothing. And then plans
something.
always happen. And then the next weekend comes, I say, this is a weekend.
At least you don't have Wedman anymore.
I can breathe now. So much more room for activity.
I know.
Although we're still busy all the time. Forever.
I just like, there are days where I'm just like, I'm not going to move from my couch. I am just going to play games all day. And now that I have a Red Bull fridge next to me, it's even easier. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
We'll bank the rest for next week because there are like at least 7 more. And I think we've run way out of time. What are we on there?
Nearly
137. Damn.
But yeah, that's been episode 51. Thank you for the questions. If you want to send us questions, Twitter @CheckpointChat, Facebook.com/CheckpointChat, CheckpointChat podcast
gmail.com. Thank you for resetting the counters.
Thank you for resetting
You
the
are
counter.
the MVP.
MVP, most valued person.
Most valued person. Yeah.
Most valued perception.
Most valued,
valued
persona.
Ooh.
There we go.
Ooh, I'm
Did
down.
it.
I'm
Nailed.
down. Most
I
valued
nailed the
persona.
theme of this episode,
Nailed
which is
it.
why is persona not coming to Switch?
Nailed it.
Well, why?
Fucking-
Just leave. Let's just leave now.
Do you know what the title of this episode is going to be?
What?
Deek on a leash.
Deek? Wow. Why? Why would you do that? I hate you. I'm leaving.
Good. Get out of my
Goodbye.
house. Thank you for listening. Okay.
Goodbye.
See you next week. Bye.
Hey everybody, we love you and thanks for listening. Just a quick reminder, today's episode of Checkpoint Chat was brought to you by PlayStation South Africa, who have just launched Days Gone. The new open-world action-adventure PS4 exclusive from Ben Studios sees you surviving a world 2 years after it was devastated by a pandemic that wiped out almost all of humanity. All that's left now are pockets of humans, not all of which are good, and millions upon millions of freakers. As Deek and St. John, all you have to survive this dangerous new world is your wits, weapons, and trusty old bike. Days Gone is out now. Be sure to pick up a copy from your nearest retailer or check our social platforms on to find out how you can win your own copy.
Goodbye.